Welcome to Chatswood, Sydney, Australia. Today is Australia Day. Chatswood is just north of Sydney CBD. As you can have a look, most of these buildings here, they were built off Chinese money. Most of these buildings here, most of the money in this area comes from China. The CCP actually has funded Chatswood, Sydney, Australia. And this is Australia Day. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look around Chatswood and look at what a Chinese suburb that's built with Chinese money, how they celebrate Australia Day. If you want any evidence that it's Australia Day, that's someone wearing a Australia Day hat, Australia Day t-shirt, etc. Yes, I'm sacrificing my Australia Day to walk around Chatswood with a camera looking for CCP subversion. Yes, I know it's strange, and yes, I am sacrificing my Australia Day to do so. I just had a look at the RSL. There's an Australian flag out the front of the RSL, but when you look in the windows, there's literally no evidence that today is Australia Day. There's no signs, there's no nothing. On the outside, I looked in the windows. Chatswood RSL doesn't seem to be celebrating Australia Day at all. I can't see any evidence here of Australia Day at all. Nothing except for that one lady over there wearing Australia Day hat and a t-shirt that has the Australian flag on it. There's no other evidence at this particular spot. Let's continue. So this is above the train station. It's beneath me. This is where I entered. This is the food court. This particular food court here is owned by Chinese people, and what they do is they have this trick. They hire a lot of guys from the Middle East or from, say, the subcontinent areas to be security. And what they do is, if you are white in here, and I've got video evidence of it, the security, if you are white, they will come over. If you're sitting, like, see how these two are sitting here? I don't know if you can see through the window there. They're Asian, so they should be fine. But I've been sitting in the exact same spot and had the security come over to me and say, hey, have you bought anything? And I go, yeah, I bought a drink over there, but I finished it. And then they say, well, you're gonna have to leave. And I go, what? And I start filming them. They said, hey, how dare you film me? And then he calls the next security guard. Next thing I know, I've got all these security guards standing around me. And in my opinion, they kicked me out purely based on the color of my skin, because there's no evidence that these guys here that are sitting down have bought anything, but they were kicking me out based on the color of my skin. Again, there is zero evidence here that it is Australia Day today. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. And this dickhead here is giving me a bad look. I don't know what's his problem. If you have a camera or you just walk around here and you're white, they give you filthy looks around here. Now that girl up there, sitting there, can you see her? I walk by and she gives me a filthy look, and she actually stuck her finger up at me. Can you see her just sitting there? I decided to come up for another look at her. There she is. So the only reason why she looked at me is because I'm white. There's not many white people around here. There's very little, if any, when you look around. And that girl right there, that one right there, stuck her finger up at me. There she goes, she's looking at me like I did something wrong. She's like, white people, I'm crazy, see? Now, how many places on planet Earth do you have someone do that? What did I do wrong? This is the hatred of white people in Chatswood. Like, just being white, you walk around and they actually abuse you, they threaten you, and they assault you around here. Now again, 3 years ago I came here on Australia Day, and right in this spot right here, there was like a Chinese New Year, like massive, it was a massive pig. This was about 3 years ago now, I believe. And I was asked to leave for filming in this area. Why? Because, well, I was white. Asian people never have people come over and say don't film. But this year, since I made that video 3 years later, they don't do that anymore. What they do is they just eradicate any evidence of Australia Day in this area. Instead of covering it up with Chinese New Year celebration ornaments and things all over the place, which they did, the entire place was red 3 years ago. Now what they do is they eradicate any evidence of Australia Day here. Yeah, so as you can see, this is Chatswood. There's a lot of money here. The people that have the money here definitely do not want you thinking about Australia Day. They want you thinking about China. That's it. They don't like Australia Day. The only evidence I've found is these weird banners that are green and it says hashtag Australia Day Chatswood. I don't know what that, I'd like to, maybe I should go and have a look at the hashtag. I doubt anyone's doing anything for that. Maybe if I look through hashtag Australia Day Chatswood, there might be more people using the hashtag to promote Chinese New Year than actually promoting Australia Day. On a day like today, the subversion within the country, they use this day to fund things like Invasion Day, to weaken Australia Day. They do everything in their power to weaken it. And then on Chinese New Year, it's, hey, come to our celebration because our celebration's far more important than your Australia Day. This is how they control the narrative and subvert Australia from within. If you don't know it's Australia Day, you can't celebrate it. If Willoughby Council, which is definitely in Gladys Berejiklian's back pocket, because you know, Willoughby Council obviously lobbied, or whoever lobbied the money, the people with the money here in Chatswood, they lobbied for that metro to go in. And that metro was funded by all Australians so that they can send money to Chatswood. If you look at the metro brings a lot of foot traffic to this area. So all of the people from that metro, they get on that metro and then they arrive in Chatswood. When they arrive in Chatswood, what happens is they realize that Australia isn't important. So Gladys Berejiklian, by building that metro to funnel people here, to make these people here more wealthy, give them more business, give them more foot traffic, fill up this Westfield, etc., fill out the Mandarin Centre. That's only really designed to weaken Australia as a whole and give money to the people who actually hate this country as a nation state. And when you think about it, when they're promoting China within Australia, that's a civilization. China's not a nation, China's a civilization. And I've mentioned that a million times on my channel. A lot of people disagree at the moment, but that's only a short-term thing. Eventually everyone will agree with me. China's a civilization, and every Chinese person, not all love China. There's a lot of dissidents out there, sure, but they're the minority. The vast majority are actually pro-China, and they see themselves just by the color of their skin. There we go, boom. Chatswood Year of the Ox Festival. You see that? They're promoting Chinese New Year on Australia Day in Chatswood. Because the people here don't care about Australia Day or Australia as a nation. They're not appreciative of coming to this country. What they are, in fact, is a part of a civilization that is only there really to promote China in your nation and turn your nation into a submissive tributary state. That's just how it works around here. There we go, inside Westfield. Westfield is controlled by the CCP. I have actually been assaulted by someone, by a Chinese person in this Westfield, this very Westfield. And the people did nothing because, well, you know, Chinese privilege. You see, they're setting this stuff up before Australia Day. It is Australia Day today. You can't see any evidence of Australia Day. All you can do is see evidence of Chinese New Year, which is pretty much Chinese Day. Chinese New Year is used as soft power to promote China within your country. That's how they do it. On Australia Day, they're more likely to promote 2021 Year of the Ox. Look at this. This is on Australia Day. Would you believe it? They're promoting Chinese New Year more than they are Australia Day within Australia. If this isn't soft power, I don't know what is. Discover your Chinese fortune zodiac for 2020. More promotion for Chinese New Year. It's a big thing right in the middle of the shopping center. Still, oh, there's another thing up there too. On every floor, they're promoting Chinese New Year instead of Australia Day. Oh, look at this. Beautiful ancient China. Look at that. That's used to promote Chinese New Year as well. It definitely wasn't there a week ago. They put it up specifically on Australia Day to cover up anything Australian in this area, because clearly they hate Australia. Oh, this is to represent the silver ingots. I don't think they're supposed to be gold, they're supposed to be silver. And yeah, celebrate Chinese New Year. Obviously far more important than Australia Day. There's more ornaments over there. You can see it over there as well. I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking, you didn't film this on Australia Day. I swear to you guys, this is Australia Day. It really is. As you can see, they got the celebrate Chinese New Year in here, but literally nothing in the entire place. No Australian flags, everything's red. If this is not soft power play by using money in Westfield, call me crazy, whatever. Yeah, so this is in preparation for, what is it? It is... in the hawker market. Yeah, almost all of the stores have these promoting Chinese New Year out the front. Even Lowe's, that pretends to be an Australian business, would love to sell out the country for some good old-fashioned Chinese dollars. Again, I get it. You guys are probably thinking, no, he didn't do this on Australia Day. Look, I promise you, today's Australia Day. I'm sacrificing my Australia Day to come and film this. I promise you guys. See those banners? The weird green and white banners that actually don't even look like Australia Day at all. That's the only thing Australia Day that I could find here, to be honest. Nothing. Yeah, these are pretty much on every store, all over the place, promoting Chinese New Year with little to no English anywhere, because, well, they're trying to get rid of English and trying to get rid of Australia Day. Another thing that happened was, oh, by the way, Speaking of awesome stores, Huawei's killing it at the moment, absolutely killing it. But you can look all the way down, literally nothing but Chinese ornaments and those weird green banners that don't even really look Australian. When I was in Westfield, I actually saw the police, and I know a lot of black people in America, they say that when they see the police they get scared. When I saw the police, I got scared. The reason is because I know that I'm just filming inside the mall the same as everybody else. There was lots of people there filming the Chinese ornaments and things like that, but there's a difference. I'm white, okay, and as a white person in a Chinese-owned little city, a colony, you might not notice it now, but in the near future those police will come over and either arrest you, they will question you. I've been questioned many times by security, unwarranted, for no reason at all. They'll just come over and bully you because of the color of your skin. You didn't see the guy giving me an evil look, but you saw the girl saying that I was crazy. All I did was walk by. Why am I crazy? Because of the color of my skin. If an Asian guy was walking by that girl, there we go, there's more evidence as well, you can see that. Almost every store is promoting Chinese New Year. Not one store is promoting Australia Day. But yeah, back to the topic of the police. I actually fear the police around here. I just don't trust them at all. I feel that because they're definitely in the pocket of Gladys Berejiklian, and Gladys Berejiklian has proven that she's in the pocket of the CCP. It's only a matter of time until the police start doing their bidding around here and this becomes a gated community. Obviously, it's already at the point where the RSL doesn't do jack shit for Australia Day. I don't know why they call themselves the Return Service League, because, well, they don't represent Australia at all. They should have their license taken off them, those pricks. They don't represent Australia. A lot of RSLs are anti-Australia as well. But yeah, I genuinely, this isn't just rhetoric. I'm not trying to create drama for the channel. I really do fear the police around here, because I know they're in the pocket of Chinese, and I know that the Chinese around here, when they look at me, they just see a white guy that they hate. And that's the future. That's my prediction. I've been saying it for a long time. I'm going to continue saying it. There you go, promoting Chinese New Year. I don't see any evidence that it's Australia Day. I wonder if they're getting that that government support, that pandemic coronavirus support. I wonder if they're getting it here. But across the road, you'll notice that the Japanese place over there, there's not one Chinese sign. They're not supporting Chinese New Year at all, anywhere over there. And if you want some sort of evidence that Chinese New Year is only for Chinese, well, I think this is a great example of it. The Chinese support Chinese New Year because it's a form of soft power, manipulation, propaganda. But the Japanese at Taka Sushi across the road, they're not promoting it. Why? Because they're not Chinese. So for those people out there that are saying, oh look, you're just hating on China, you're racist, which is CCP propaganda, by the way, you can clearly see that the Japanese are not promoting it either. I'd also wonder if all of these businesses that are using soft power to promote China on Australia Day in Chatswood, Sydney, Australia, if they're getting support by the Australian government to stay afloat. How much money is being pumped into all of these Chinese businesses? We know that Gladys Berejiklian built that metro to promote this area, but what else is happening here? How much more money? This is a black hole. You know, this is classic It is the classic way that people destroy your country from within. They use your power against you. They get in there, they take your money, and they use your money to hurt yourself. Classic CCP style. And I know you guys are probably thinking, this guy's full of it. This isn't Australia Day. But I can promise you, this is Australia Day. This is Australia Day. I only saw one person wearing an Australian hat and Australian t-shirt. Nothing else. Nothing else anywhere in Chatswood, Sydney, Australia. And all your tax money is going to keeping these businesses afloat. Willoughby Council has done nothing for Australia Day. Willoughby Council clearly hates Australia Day. All those Invasion Day protests, they're partially funded by the CCP. You know that, right? They just want to promote Australia as like this racist place that hates Chinese and hates Aboriginals, etc. But how much of your money is being pumped into this city so they can use it against you? That's my question for you guys. Also, the evidence of this, that Chinese New Year isn't inclusive because the Japanese place isn't promoting it, because they know it has nothing to do with them. It's pure soft power. There's nothing in Chatswood Chates either, which is another Westfield. Westfield clearly doesn't like Australia. They're only here for those the Chinese money. And so the Australian government funds this area, so this area can use your funds in order to drown out Australia Day within Australia. That's what's happening here. Why should you be funding a suburb that hates Australia Day? Why should Australian taxpayers be paying money so that the government can divert it through this socialist corrupt system to Chinese people so that they can, their businesses can promote Chinese New Year over Australia Day? Are you angry yet? Good, because that's the purpose of this video, to educate you guys and get you angry and wake you all up.